The Tale of Thach Sanh****. Once upon a time, in the Chao Bin district, there lived an elderly couple who had no children. They were poor and made a living by chopping firewood in the forest to exchange for rice. Despite their hardship, they were generous and often helped others by repairing roads, clearing drains, and assisting the elderly and weak without hesitation. Moved by their kindness, the Jade Emperor sent the crown prince to reincarnate as their son. Soon after, the wife became pregnant, but years passed, and she did not give birth. In the meantime, the husband fell ill and passed away. It was only long after that the wife finally gave birth to a son. As the boy grew up, his mother also passed away, leaving him an orphan living alone in a small hut under a banyan tree. People called him Thach Sanh. His only inheritance was his father's old axe, which he used to chop wood daily. When he was old enough to wield the axe, the Jade Emperor sent a heavenly being to teach him martial arts and magical skills. One day, a wine merchant named Thach passed by and rested under the banyan tree. Seeing Thach Sanh carrying a huge load of firewood, he thought to himself, "This man is as strong as an elephant. If he stays with me, it would be greatly beneficial." So he approached Thach Sanh, chatted with him, and proposed to become sworn brothers. Touched by Thach's friendliness, Thach Sanh happily agreed and moved into Thach's house. The Lai family specialized in brewing wine. With Thach Sanh's help, the mother and son found their workload significantly reduced. At that time, there was a monstrous ogre called the Chan Tin that could shapeshift in bizarre ways and often devoured humans. Despite many attempts by soldiers to capture or kill the creature, they failed. Eventually, the locals built a temple for the ogre and annually offered it a human sacrifice to appease it. That year, it was Thach's turn to be the sacrifice. Terrified, Thach and his mother devised a plan to trick Thach Sanh into taking his place. They thought, he has no parents and is new to the area, so it should work perfectly. That evening, when Thach Sanh returned from the forest, Thach prepared a lavish meal and said, "Tonight, it's my turn to guard the temple, but I am busy brewing a batch of wine. Could you go in my place for just one night?" Unsuspecting, Thach Sanh agreed immediately. At midnight, as he dozed off, the ogre appeared, baring its fangs and claws to seize him. Thach Sanh grabbed his axe and fought back. The creature kept disappearing and reappearing with its magical powers, but Thach Sanh remained undaunted and kept attacking. Before long, he split the monster in two with his axe, revealing its true form as a giant python. Thach Sanh chopped off its head and picked up its golden bow and arrows before returning home. When he knocked on the door, Thach and his mother, thinking it was his ghost, were terrified and started bowing and praying. Upon hearing Thach Sanh's story about slaying the ogre, they finally calmed down. However, Thach came up with another scheme. That python was the king's pet. Killing it is punishable by death. You should flee before dawn. I'll handle everything here. Alarmed, Thach Sanh hurriedly left and returned to his banyan tree to chop wood as before. Meanwhile, Thach brought the ogre's head to the king, claiming he had slain the monster. The king praised him and made him a general. At that time, the king's daughter had come of age, but she had not found a suitable husband. Many princes from neighboring kingdoms sought her hand, but none pleased her. Finally, the king organized a grand gathering where the princess would throw a ball from the balcony. Whoever caught the ball would become her husband. As the princess was about to throw the ball, a giant eagle, a powerful demon living on a mountain, swooped down and abducted her. Thach Sanh, sitting under his banyan tree, saw the eagle flying by with a person in its claws. He quickly shot an arrow from the golden bow, hitting the eagle in the wing. Injured, the eagle dropped the princess into its cave. Thach Sanh followed the trail of blood to find the monster's lair. The king was devastated by his daughter's disappearance. He ordered General Thach to find and rescue her, promising her hand in marriage and the throne. Fearful yet excited, Thach realized he could not do it alone, so he ordered his men to search for Thach Sanh. They eventually found Thach Sanh among the crowd during a festival. Upon hearing Thach's plea, Thach Sanh honestly recounted how he had shot the eagle and found its cave. Thach immediately asked him to lead the way. Upon reaching the cave, no one dared to descend into its deep, dark depths. Thach Sanh volunteered to be tied with a rope and lowered into the cave. Inside, he found the injured eagle keeping the princess captive. He signaled her to stay calm and gave her a sleeping potion for the eagle. Once it fell asleep, Thach Sanh tied the princess to the rope, signaling for the soldiers to pull her up. But when it was Thach Sanh's turn, Thach ordered his men to seal the cave with rocks and left him to die. Trapped and furious, Thach Sanh searched for another way out. In the meantime, the eagle awoke, enraged at losing the princess. It attacked Thach Sanh, but weakened from its injury, it was no match for him. He slew the monster. While exploring the cave, he discovered a prince imprisoned in a cage. The prince was the son of the Sea King, who had been captured by the eagle a year before. Thach Sanh freed him, and out of gratitude, the prince invited him to the underwater kingdom. The Sea King was overjoyed to reunite with his son and rewarded Thach Sanh with gold and jewels, but he only accepted a magical guitar before returning home. Meanwhile, Thach presented the princess to the king, but she had become mute. No prayers or rituals could cure her. One day, from his prison cell, Thach Sanh played his magical guitar, and its music revealed the truth about Thach's betrayal. Upon hearing the music, the princess suddenly spoke again, asking the king to summon Thach Sanh. In the court, Thach Sanh recounted his entire story. The king, moved by his honesty and courage, sentenced Thach and his mother to death. However, Thach Sanh forgave them, but on their journey home, they were struck by lightning. The king married his daughter to Thach Sanh in the grandest wedding ever. Jealous princes from 18 neighboring kingdoms declared war, but when Thach Sanh played his magical guitar, the soldiers lost their will to fight. He fed them with a magical pot of rice that never ran out, and the princes, touched by his generosity, retreated peacefully. When the king passed away, having no son, he passed the throne to Thach Sanh, who ruled justly and wisely.